Hello, algebra students. The two most common issues or struggles that new and struggling algebra students have is what we addressed in the last mixed practice, which is knowing when to add and when to multiply and those rules when you're in algebra. And then what we're doing this practice, which is knowing when to simplify, move forwards and obey the symbols, and when to solve, and that's when we try to get that letter alone, moving backwards, disobeying the symbols, doing the opposite. So that can be really challenging for new students. So we are going to practice here knowing when to simplify, when to solve. And that's why these directions are kind of weird. It won't look like this on the GED, all right? Simplify or solve as appropriate. I'm just trying to get you to read the symbols to know what we even can do if we wanted to. So first example, 6y plus 30y. What I need you to notice here is that this is just one expression. It's not about whether or not there's letters. It's about whether or not there's an equal sign and another side. Or it doesn't have to be an equal sign, but there has to be a relationship between two expressions. This is just a single expression. All it has is numbers, letters, and operations. I'm not going to be able to solve. I can't figure out the mystery of what y is. Can't do it. However, I can do any straightforward math that I know how to do. And indeed, I see a plus sign here. And we know in algebra, sometimes we can add and sometimes we can't. And that's based on whether or not we have like terms, if they have the same variable portion. And they do. Look at that, a y and a y. It's a y term and a y term, I can add them. So if I have 6 y's, like 6 yo-yos, and I add 30 y's, like 30 yo-yos, I'm going to have a total of 36 y's. But here's where I'm done with simplifying. I have no power to figure out what y is. This does not say 36 is y or y is 36. Don't slip an equal sign in there like students like to do, guys. This says whatever number y is, and he is a mystery, he is being multiplied by 36. And since he is a flippin' mystery, I can't do the multiplication, so I'm just going to leave it there so everybody knows they're multiplying. That's it. You've just outed them. That's it. Okay? That being said, now let's look at the next example. This time, I have a relationship. 6y is equal to 30. This is two different expressions, an expression on the left-hand side and an expression on the right-hand side of an equal sign. And so I can solve it. I have the power to figure out what y is, and we're going to do that, again, not by obeying symbols, but by disobeying them using opposites. So I want y alone, which means I need to get this 6 going. I need to get him to move to the other side of the equal sign. And we do that by using opposites. The opposite of multiply is divide. I'm going to divide by 6. You say, can I do that? And I say, yeah, sure, as long as you do it to both sides. It's solving. It's those inverses that happen twice, not the simplifying. So multiplying by 6 and dividing by 6 are opposites. They cancel. Y is alone just like I wanted. And 30 divided by 6 is 5. That time I did have the power to figure out what y is. This says, with that equal sign, y is 5. Mystery solved. Awesome. Let's look at the next example. 22t times 88. So, expression or equation. This is just a single expression. I have no relationship to another expression. All I can do is obey the symbols. And what did the symbols tell me to do? Well, they say to take 22t and multiply by 88. Oh my gosh, you guys. I totally need a calculator. And where is my calculator? Oh my gosh, I don't know where my calculator is. I have to multiply by hand. I'm going to get a little resentful. 22 times 18. 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times 8 is 16. With another 1 is 17. 8 times 2 is 16. With another 1. 17. Oh my goodness. 6. 13. Do you like watching me struggle? Is it fun? Oh, 19. 36. 1, 9, 3, 6, t. And again, this does not say t is equal to 1,936. This says Whatever t is, some mystery number, it's multiplying with 1936. No power to figure out what t is. Sorry, I know you guys would love to know who's multiplying with who, but you don't get to know. It's a secret. Okay, but that is different from the next example. Take a look at the next example. This time we see 22t is equal to 88. We've got two expressions set equal to each other. We have a relationship. We have the power to solve. We can do those opposites to get rid of things. And that's what we'll do. In order to get t alone, we'll get rid of 22 by doing the opposite. 22 is multiplying t, we'll divide him. We can do that because we're keeping the two sides equal by doing the exact same thing on the other side. And now let's see what happens. Multiplying by 22, dividing by 22, cancel. Hey, t's alone. And I know what t is equal to. 88 divided by 22. Hallelujah, that's easier math. It's 4. Yeah, I hope you have your calculator on you. You always will on the GED, okay? You'll be more prepared than Kate. But t is equal to 4. See the difference here? Equation, I could figure out what t was equal to. Expression, all I could do was do as much math as I could do. Go home, drink some tea. Okay, next example. 4x plus 7 minus 19. Ask yourself, guys, expression or equation? It might be long. It might have a lot of stuff going on. But all this stuff is doing is operations, plussing, minusing, whatever. I don't see any relationship between two sides. And so all I'm going to be able to do is simplify. Now, what simplifying can I do here? Well, 4x plus 7 minus 19. These are terms, things adding and subtracting. And so that's all I can do is add or subtract, which in algebra is called combining like terms. There's only one x term, so it's just going to drop. However, there are a couple of constant terms. Plus 17 or positive 17 minus 19. And you can do that in your calculator. 7 minus 19, but you should get, let's see, negative 12. I know a lot of you guys want to be like, how did you do that, Kate? Maybe I'll be nice. I'll tell you. If I have $7 in my account, guys, and then I go and spend 19, well, first I'm going to spend the first 7 of that 19, but then I'm going to keep going down, right? And I'm going to end up $12 in debt. And now that's my final answer. That's as much as I can do here. Don't try to divide by 4 and do shenanigan nonsense like that, guys. There's no equal sign. You can't use opposites. Sorry, pumpkin. And you can't do what this problem is telling you to do because you can't multiply 4 and x. They're a mystery. You can't subtract 12 from some x you don't know. So this is all you can do. You're done. Stop. Now let's compare that to the next example. 4x plus 7 is equal to 19. Once again, there's some things I can't do, like I can't do 4 times x. I can't add 7 to some mystery 4x. However, this time I've got an equal sign. I've got a relationship between two expressions. I know how 4x plus 7 and 19 are related. They're equivalent to each other. And with that relationship, I can solve. I can get rid of those numbers to get x alone so I can solve the mystery of what x is equal to. All right, excellent. Let's do it. Remember, when solving, we actually work the order of operations backwards. So I will move anything, adding and subtracting first. Adding and subtracting, that's not in a group. Groups go last. But this plus 7 is not in a group. It's just out in the open. And so I will subtract 7 on both sides. That's the key. You're keeping the two sides equal. That's why you can be disobedient. Adding 7 and subtracting 7 are opposites. They cancel. 4x is alone. And 19 minus 7 is 12. And x is not alone, but I can force him to be alone in this case because this is still two-sided. And that's one of the reasons I get mad at you guys. I don't get mad, but you know, when you drop equal signs, I scold you. Keep your equal sign with each new equation or you lose your power to solve. All right, so want to get x alone, so I'll do the opposite of multiplying by 4. I'll divide by 4. And again, I can do it because it's an equation and I do it on both sides. And my new equivalent equation will be x is equal to, what's 12 divided by 4? 3. And this time, my answer is not just an expression that I can't do any more math with. My answer is a solution. Hey, now I know X. I can identify X. X is 3. All right, guys, keep those 2 playgrounds in mind, simplifying or solving, because you know what's going to happen next lesson? We're going to put it together. Happy learning.